Welcome to my channel. You're not just a viewer, you're the reason we're here. If everyone who watches subscribes, we'll build an awesome community. Your support drives us, without it we're nothing. So hit subscribe, and let's make something incredible together. Thank you, let's dive in. It was supposed to be a quiet night. Joe didn't expect anything more than a few streaky windows and another shift cleaning high-rise glass in silence. Yet now clutching a rope halfway down a skyscraper in the cold wind, she wondered how she ended up here, suspended between survival and collapse. The world was a louder place when Joe was little. Not because of traffic or schoolyards, but the shouting. Her parents' voices filled the walls with anger so thick she could barely breathe. But Joe had a secret escape. Each time things got too heavy, she'd climb through the kitchen cabinets and slip outside the window, perching on the ledge, legs dangling into nothing. That space, wind in her face, city lights blinking below, was the only place she could breathe. 20 years later, Joe jolted awake, late again. Her tiny alarm clock had died quietly in the night, just like everything else that tried to keep her on schedule. She yanked on a mismatched outfit, barely brushed her hair, and dashed out. Another day as a cleaner at Agnian Enterprises, one of the largest corporations in the city. As she locked the door, her phone buzzed. It was the company where her autistic brother Michael worked. Her stomach dropped. The manager didn't even wait for greetings. "Your brother tampered with our systems and leaked data to the local press. We're terminating him. No severance." Joe's heart raced. This is his 8th job. "You can't just," he didn't mean. "He's lucky we're not pressing charges," the manager snapped. Michael stood in the corner, fiddling with the sleeve of his coat, oblivious to the storm around him. Joe sighed, brushing a hand over her face. "Come on, let's go." But the storm wasn't done. As they stepped outside, her phone rang again. It was her own job. "If you're not here in 2 hours, don't bother coming at all." Joe stared at her watch. No time to drop Michael home. "We're going together," she muttered. Her old motorbike refused to start, coughing out thick air. With no time left, Joe grabbed Michael's hand and dragged him toward the nearest bus stop. But in their rush, they boarded the wrong route, realizing too late. Off again, running to catch the right one. They barely made it to Agnian's towering building. Inside the elevator, Joe stood silently beside Michael. The doors slid open, and in walked the company's CEOs, Jeffrey and Gerald Milton, both born in suits raised in profits. When a pregnant employee squeezed in, Gerald sneered. "Shouldn't you be at home?" She shot back. "Maybe if you paid maternity leave I could." Joe caught Michael's smirk and couldn't help but smile. Derek, her supervisor, was less amused by her lateness. "You're on skyscraper windows today. Top floor." "Of course." While Joe prepared her gear, Michael was assigned a guard, but the man's eyes drifted, giving Michael enough freedom to start wandering through the building. Joe worked in silence on the tall windows, her only companion being Noah, a soft-spoken co-worker with a philosopher's mind. He wiped glass next to her eyes, tracing the skyline. "All flesh is grass," he murmured. "Ever wonder what this place looked like before we came and ruined it?" Before Joe could answer, Derek's voice buzzed in over the intercom. "Wrap it up. Shareholder gala starts soon." Noah leaned in. "Take your brother somewhere nice tonight. He deserves it." Joe nodded, then turned back to cleaning. Evening fell, and the gala hall came alive with decorations and tension. Gerald snorted something in a bathroom stall, while staff dressed the room in gold and glass. Joe was still scrubbing high windows when Michael found her. "I want to go home," he said softly. "I know, Mikey, but I'll be fired if you're up here. Please wait downstairs. Just a little longer." He hesitated, then nodded, and disappeared down the stairwell. But Derek wasn't done punishing her. "Still more windows," he barked. Joe, exhausted, obeyed. Soon she realized she'd lost control of the lift. Derek had overridden it. It was too dark. She slipped slightly, her sponge falling and hitting someone below. Then, masked figures entered the building. Performers for the gala? No. Something was wrong. Downstairs, the gala buzzed. Jeffrey spoke with a polished smile about Agnian's energy contributions, while Gerald slipped away with his girlfriend. Then everything changed. Derek and the tech team were ambushed in the control room, shot dead by masked intruders. Derek's body slumped forward, pulling a lever. The lift dropped suddenly. A hacker among the Group Z began overriding systems. In the gala, gas hissed through vents. Everyone collapsed. Only the intruders wearing masks remained standing. Joe, stuck outside the building's glass, could only watch. Michael found refuge in a safe room curling behind metal and silence. The group of attackers, led by a man named Blake, gathered the shareholders. One by one, they gave them gas masks and weapons. Blake introduced himself and their cause, Earth Revolutionists. Their mission: expose Agnian's environmental destruction. Z ensured all external communications were cut. Then Blake noticed one person missing, Gerald. They asked Jeffrey, who refused to talk. One of them snapped his fingers, literally. They found Gerald in a side room. He tried alerting his captor that someone was outside, Joe, but was ignored. The captor pulled off his mask. It was Noah. Using a cart, Noah dragged Gerald back to the group. Joe screamed, banging on the glass. No one heard her. She tied a rope to the lift and began lowering herself slowly. This building had always been her escape, but tonight it felt like a prison. Blake addressed the room again. Jeffrey assumed it was about money. Noah disagreed. Violently. A wine bottle down the throat silenced Jeffrey's arrogance. Blake pulled Noah back. We're not here to kill. We're here to reveal truth. A video played showing how Agnian, under the guise of eco-advocacy, had destroyed lives and lands, covered up crimes, and silenced whistleblowers, including a woman activist who was found dead. Now their sins would be aired globally. Jeffrey offered a bribe. Noah snapped again. Meanwhile, Joe used a jelly-like compound to mark the window with an SOS in flames. Onlookers saw it. Police were called. Blake noticed. Noah, deal with her. Joe tried to hide, but Noah found her. Bring me up. Gerald escaped. Elsewhere, Gerald ran for his life. Blake found him. In the chaos, a gun went off. Blake was shot. Noah entered the room. Blake tried reasoning, but Noah raised his gun and killed him. Then he turned on the others loyal to Blake, executing them too. Joe crept toward Blake's body, retrieved his gun and phone. Michael, hiding nearby, crouched in fear. Noah called emergency services, pretending to be a hostage. Then used the pregnant employee as a pawn, threatening to shoot her if she didn't fire her gun out the window. A sniper was placed on her. To ensure the framing was complete, Noah wired $33 million to Joe's bank account. Detective Gove arrived. Joe used to be a Marine, one officer whispered. Was discharged after beating her spotter who tried to assault her. She sent the SOS. That means she's not one of them, Gove said. But the money? She's being framed. Joe clung to Blake's phone. A crane shifted suddenly, his body fell. She barely held on. She called Gove. Please, help Michael. Don't shoot. I didn't do this. Meanwhile, hostages were filmed making confessions. Z, now disturbed, watched footage of Noah's past. An eco-activist once full of hope. Blake had been a pacifist. Now he was gone. Noah's bomb brace tracked his emotions. If he lost control, it would detonate. During negotiations, Noah saw police moving in. He detonated a bomb, killing them. Gove screamed at her team. I said no action. Z now questioned her place in all this. Joe climbed through shattered windows using childhood skills and marine instincts. An explosion knocked her sideways, but she kept going. Snipers blew open a glass panel. She entered the building. Labeled a terrorist on the news, Joe dodged guards and found Michael. They hid in the generator room. Joe attacked a guard, burning his face on a steam pipe. Michael grabbed a hammer, Thor's hammer, and hit another but was tossed. Joe picked up a gun and killed them both. Another attacker came. Joe shot a steam pipe, scalding him. He screamed in agony. They fought. Michael threw a grenade, sending the attacker flying. Z prepared to air the confession video. Noah gave a speech. By the time they see this, we'll be dead. Z tried to run. A man chased and shot at her, but Joe intervened and killed him. Joe and Michael made it to the control room. Michael destroyed the hard drive, preventing the video's release. She called Noah. Your plan is ruined. It meant nothing. Michael clutched the drive as they moved. Joe gave their location to Gove. Send men. Protect my brother. Gove ordered them not to kill Noah. His death would trigger the bomb. Joe ambushed another attacker, then slashed another as he checked his fallen partner. She found Noah sitting alone. They fought. He overpowered her, demanding the drive. I don't have it, Joe whispered. He pointed a gun at himself. She stopped him, stealing the wrist detonator without him noticing. When he tried to climb back, she showed it to him. You lose. He fell. The building cleared. Sirens faded. Detective Gove approached. Do you have the drive? Joe shook her head. Never had it. Do you get to keep the $33 million? Gove asked. I figured you'd say no. The confessions leaked anyway. The video went viral. Milton Brothers exposed. Agnian collapsed. In a quiet park, Joe and Michael sat on a bench. He offered her half his sandwich. She smiled. It was finally quiet. For real this time. Thank you for watching.